welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Djibouti celebrates the International Women's Day at the premises of the UNFD. And on the international scene, 2 dead and 16 injured in a train derailment near Cairo, Egypt. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our blood viewers. Following the example of the countries of the world, the Republic of Djibouti celebrated today, March 8th, at the UNFD, the International Women's Day, under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, His Excellency, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, organized jointly by the Ministry of Women and Family and the National Union of Djiboutian Women. The President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, accompanied by the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Hayed, was welcomed by the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, and the Minister for Women, Ms. Muna Usman Aden. The ceremony was attended by the members of the government, parliamentarians, senior female officers from the ranks of various constituted bodies, representatives of diplomatic and consular corps associated to Djibouti, the UNDP representative, and representatives of women's associations from the capital in the interior regions, as well as several other public figures. Let's watch. And after the arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, accompanied by the First Lady and the President of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Hayed, to the hall celebrating International Women's Day, the appropriate paragraphs dedicated to the ceremony began.
بننا أي والله ربة جالا أي والله وتخدم الوطن أي والله بحبا صادقا أي والله هم نساء أقوياء نساء جيبوتي هم نساء أقوياء نساء جيبوتي هم نساء أقوياء نساء جيبوتي
الحمد لله ده أدل ما كان كل شيء ما حد يتاهي اسمه تلك
السلام موسى السلام عليكم
عليكم السلام
والله هنا ستينه
ما هي ناسني
ما هنا سوي بين نقول وان يا بناي وهواكم ما كي ذاتي ما وحن قبت ذاتي ما وحن قبت والله حسودا هو يا ما لقوا هنا
هو يلقوا ما هنا بسم الله الرحمن
ده يا حسودا هذا
مي هو يكون ما هنا سكر
هذا هذا
هرومك انت على اجي قبطي اما يرحمني الله وكل بجرتو تنا يكتايسو اي شنو هنا لنمو
هي
يا عمو maxaa hayna ma fiila ka dalayo maya ku horsa
haye
labadii fiila u qaadi kari lahayd safara kaysa intee barra
waa fahmi ayaa u dhooftay ayaa u maqantay aqalka ayaa u dhisay
saadi ma teeti
halkaad ku maqreedeen
war inaad heed
ma saxatay
may waan joogsano
ma joogsatay dad weelayna dhaafay Soomaa imika hala dhaqaaqne in marsoon waxaad ogaataa in wax ka sabaa asaas beli haweenku halkan u gaaray ceelka looga soo asaasimaad garanaysi وين فديدتي
ما شاء الله
وحالكن وحي جرو دم حالكا ما لغا قادا
صح
وزارة يدو waxay ku shaqeeyaan wixii siyaasada jaagoynta xeerka
haye
war dumarku ha socdaan daay maxaad way sidee
الله باركي الله باركي
ودارتي هوينك أدوكيها يودتما ودارتي هوينك أدوكيها يودتما انت ساعة عصرك دنيا كير قلي هوينك غاركنو ويان هي سنينا يو هوينك غاركنو وانا اللي جتكي هبولاي هوينك غاركنو ودارتي هوينك أدوكيها يودتما ودارتي هوينك أدوكيها يودتما.
The Secretary General of the National Union of Djiboutian Women explained that Djiboutian women have been distinguished throughout history for their important roles in society. Let's listen.
Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République, grâce à votre vision 2035,
The Secretary General of the UNFD said in her speech that the woman remains in need of further progress. She said, I want to speak here about the effort to be made to combat against violence against women and in particular the FGM, early marriage in areas of rural and domestic violence. We have certainly reduced the overall rates by 8 percentage points. The FGM since 2012, we are now at 70 percentage rate of prevalence at all age considered. This rate is very important when it comes to progress in terms of social change, and the favorable results obtained are the result of very close involvement of public authorities, the UNFD, and in particular the First Lady herself, whom we all remember the conclusive action deployed on February 6, 2014 during the conference of regional meeting on the elimination of MGF organized under its high patronage of the presence of Minister of Foreign Affairs in Italy.
également inscrit dans l'agenda à court terme de l'organisation.
In her speech, the representative of the United Nations Development also spoke at this important occasion. We follow up.
C'est pour moi un immense honneur de prendre la parole aujourd'hui au nom du système des Nations Unies.
In her speech, the UNDP representative said that the United Nations has closing this year at a theme for the day, Women is Right International for a Digital World, Inclusive Innovation and Technologies for the Gender Equality in Djibouti, and thanks to a political will affirmed at the highest level of states. Our country is now anchored to the dynamic worldwide concerning the development of digital technologies. We have for this infrastructure of Djibouti is the fourth country connected in Africa and instrument and regulatory authorities, His Excellency the President of the Republic, and the promotion of innovation and the rights of women in digitalization, but also the purpose of accelerating the pace of development.
For her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Mrs. Muna, expressed her deep thanks to the President of the Republic and the First Lady, who honored them by attending the celebration of International Women's Day. Let's listen to the Minister.
Nous célébrons aujourd'hui la Journée internationale des droits de la femme.
In her speech, the Minister of Women and Families, Her Excellency Muna Usman Aden, has reaffirmed the will of Djiboutian government to promote the promotion of gender and the empowerment of women. Today, we celebrate International Human Rights Day. Women proud of our achievement and ready to take up new challenges, full participation of women in the work of development of our country. The President himself and in the presence at the ceremony and that of the First Lady, all in all battles, shows that the causes of women is at the heart of your concern. This event has become over the years a beautiful and significant tradition that few countries can claim. It will be tenders to all the testimonies, but I will just give a few examples of achievements significant about today. 38% of medical profession are women in terms of education. The number of girls in primary education and secondary represent a rate of 45% of all enrollment, thanks to the energetic and continuous action of the UNFD. 5,300 learners have attended literacy classes in 2019 to present. In addition, women's empowerment work has led to their unique dynamism. If only in the context of financing of income generating activities, women represent 80% of microcredit clients. 82 community mutuals are in place of 52 in the region. Djibouti City, which corresponds the district council, intend to put out in 20 in Balbala. This mutual guarantee the loans of members, and each has a health fund.
In a speech made by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, he touched on the importance of this occasion dedicated to the celebration of International Women's Day. Let's listen to His Excellency.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Here we are once again gathered on the occasions of the International Women's Day, March 8th. More than an ordinary celebration is the opportunity to continue our fight for a balanced participation of women and men in the decision-making and development of our country. This is the meaning of this day. By the way, and through history, ladies and gentlemen, Djiboutian women have always occupied a prominent place in our country. First of all, I would like to mention the women activists of the first hours who, alongside their brothers, contributed to the liberation of the country and to lay the foundations of the modern state. I would also like to associate to this tribute the associative activists, and in particular the activists of UNFD, who have never ceased to carry and promote the cause of the Djiboutian woman, a fulfilled woman assuming without complex her modernity while keeping her cultural and Muslim specificity. We are proud to have been able to preserve this balance, which constitute in our ease the best way to allow the Djiboutian woman to envisage the future in all serenity, confident in her capacity to take up the challenges of modernity. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the fact that we have now entered a new era where the mastery of digital technology is a prerequisite for success, we have constantly called for the adoption of innovative solutions for the development of our country. I think I can say in this context that our national development plan is already a roadmap that plays a precursory role in this area. It makes connectivity a major pillar of our development choice and programs, because we are convinced that innovations and technology are drivers of change and a real decision lever for the empowerment and participation of women in economic, social, and political life. I take this opportunity to commend the national effort to build an advanced digital architecture and call for the implementation of gender-sensitive digital reforms and strategy. While continuing the effort for women's literacy, I want within the framework of the new national gender policy, the Ministry is concerned to put in place the human and material means necessary to start new cycles of what is now called digital literacy. In a few years, indeed, the degrees of civilizations of people will be measured by their masteries of digital and the importance of the population that handle it wisely and get the most useful result. The school, of course, remains the first place where digital technology will be called to develop with the rising generation, because the virtual world is now their new world where they will build their values and their references. It is therefore the responsibility of all, and especially of educational institutions, to contribute to build a positive and encouraging discourse so that to strengthen the link between the female public and the digital professionals, in particular by setting up information days on digital training intended to show concretely the file so and accessible to all. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt about the strength and sincerity of your commitment, and no doubt about your ability to succeed in all areas, because when you commit yourselves, it is with the strength of your health. Be assured that I will spare no effort to continue to make your cause my own and to support you in your actions. I thank you for your support.
The president also made a speech where he said, and I quote, "The day we celebrate today is a day full of history, and March 8 is a day dedicated to women, girls, sisters, and mothers. The commemoration of the International Women's Day has become a tradition, and its objective is currently to pay tribute to women. They are the driving forces and constitute of an inescapable link in any approach to the development of our nation. Today, more than ever, women are the one who give life, maintain it in various levels, and contribute largely by their daily sacrifices to the well-being of the whole society. We can talk for hours about how important they are for any society that wants to move forward in its development. That the number of women in education is currently increasing. Why? For the simple and unique reason that they are the gateway to knowledge, development, as well as participating in the defense of our country. We also want to make sure that girls are much more visible in basic education classes, high school, and university, so that through their efforts, they can achieve great things. We must give them every opportunity to succeed in their professional and family life, which will turn generate a productive offspring to serve the nation in a society that has faith. And it goes without saying that these rights for all women are inescapable. Thus, they must continue to climb the ladder to the highest level of decision-making power. Girls have the right to reach the level of their male counterparts in their vocational training, crafts, mechanics, and other regular professions. We did not wait for the digital, which is mentioned this year and which is even in the theme of this celebration. We had already taken the initiative to set up a ministry dedicated to digital and digital economy. We have put in place a policy for good technological advance, even if our economic means did not allow us. We have the unanimous choice not to miss the train of digital evolution like our nation. At the end of the ceremony, the distribution of the Head of State Award for Women began. Let's watch. The Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of industry, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawali, participated in the 15th meeting of the Finance Ministers of Horn of Africa initiative in Nairobi. This initiative brings together the countries of the Horn of Africa, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, Somalia, and South Sudan development partners and its observers, Japan, France, and United Kingdom, and aims to support development through regional integration. During their meeting, they discussed with interest the various ways in which greater private sector engagement could be promoted within the framework of the HOA. They noted both the broader context of the opportunities offered by the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and the specific opportunities that should be built into the integration initiative objective, which would in turn strengthen third-party ownership. They requested an update on the rollout of these actions in about 6 months. The Djibouti table tennis players are actively preparing for the upcoming events, including the East African Championship will be held on our soil from March 9th to 13th. There are 17 players, 7 in women and 10 in men, to have been selected to take part in this great tournament with the objective to get a maximum of medals. It is at the municipal stadium where the championship will take place that our table tennis players are training intensively and regularly under the watchful eyes of their coaches. A total of 14 countries will be competing, namely Comoros, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, Sudan, Mauritius, Madagascar, Rwanda, Seychelles, South Sudan, Tanzania, and the host countries. Several events will be on the program, men's and women's team and individual competition. While waiting for the arrival of the participating delegations in the day, the referees have already been seen gathering yesterday to inspect the state of the tables to give instructions. The event is to cross a Tris Hall. They need to find themselves in a situation where they are facing players from different countries in the region, and our prayers are ready. After the referees, it was the round of the table tennis players and their delegations to land on our soil to participate in the third edition of the Regional Table Tennis Championship. They are all unanimous as for the reception which was reserved for them. The prefect was the delegation of Kenya, Sudan, Uganda, Mauritius, Madagascar, and Somalia, waiting for the rest. This is also the opening of the manager of the competition. Several presidents of federations of the participating countries and the regional committee are expected in the following hours. As a reminder, the Republic of Djibouti is among the great nations of table tennis at the continental level. Moreover, Djibouti, by the quality of sport infrastructure, its multi-standings hotels, its beaches, wants to dazzle and impress by its organizations and its reception foreigners. Djibouti relies heavily on these games to export its image in order to host in the future other events as important as for the same size. It should be noted that the various sports delegations of the countries participating in the third edition of the Regional Table Tennis Championship have arrived well before 24 hours of the opening ceremony scheduled for tomorrow at the municipal stadium. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, at least 2 people were killed and 16 others injured on Tuesday after a train derailed in Ghalioub, a town in Ghalioubia province located about 23 kilometers north of the Egyptian capital, Cairo. According to the Egyptian Ministry of Health, 10 of the 16 injured are currently receiving medical treatment at the specialized hospital, but their injuries are not life-threatening. The other 6 injured with minor wounds and bruises were discharged from the hospital. Well, by this hour, vlog viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.